written by Google, I think. Yeah, but it runs on Google Chrome browser. So, but also Node is able to, because it's JavaScript, it is able to run on basically any platform. So you can run Node on Linux or Windows, regardless. It was created by Ryan Dahl. It is open source. So if after maybe a couple of months of writing Node, you want to add something, some functionality, you can pull the source code and add your updates. So it's a server-side language, means it runs on the server. You can use it for concurrent applications. So where you have like multiple users at the same time, and it does moderately okay. It's a command line tool, and like I said before, it's not purely JavaScript. We would write JavaScript only, but Node as a language is actually JavaScript and C++. Let me see. Okay, so it uses it's event driven. I would show us some explanation and some practicals later on about events. It's also non-blocking. If you have written other programming languages, or if you have any experience with other programming languages, even from just the developer college, you notice that lines execute like in a linear order, but I'll explain that later also today. I will do a brief explanation about an event loop is. And yeah, so like I've been saying, Node is a mixture of JavaScript and C++, but it doesn't mean you can write all JavaScript. So if you have done HTML, there is something called a DOM, which is your document object manager. For example, like your Google, how do I exit? Like your Google, your web page. So if you do something on your HTML, normally you can do something like, this is an ID, so you can do something like document.get element by ID. I think it's like this.
The spelling of your document.
Oh. Thanks. So you can do something like this in HTML, and then you can manipulate the DOM. That's the document object. That's this page. You can add whatever you want to add, but in Node, you can't do that. Where was I? So to get started, I'm hoping that you have installed Node. If you have installed Node, so we'll just go for a quick practical. If you have installed Node and you have Visual Studio, you can create a new, let me just close this. So let's say you open Visual Studio Code. You can do a new workspace. Okay, I think I created this earlier. So how do you create a new workspace in Visual Studio? Just hold on.
You can just create your, okay, yeah.
So you can start and open this as a,
I think you can just create a new file, then later you can save it into a folder. that you want.
Oh. Sorry, one second. I think that was already created. But I don't know why it's not open. Let me just resolve this. Okay, it has already opened actually. Sorry. So if you have your workspace like this, let me see. Do we have people following? Okay. So please, can you just follow what I'm doing? Open your Visual Studio, and you can create a new file. Or better still, let's create a new Node project. To do that, because I said Node is a command line tool. So if you do this, open a new terminal. To run Node, there is a command to start a new project. You can just do npm init. You don't need to, you don't need to memorize this. I mean, it's nice to can I move this up? So for example, if you come to Google and you say, how to create a new Node project, if you come to most of the, first thing you see is npm init. So you can Google your way for things that you don't really know or remember. I always Google. So when you run npm init, to ask you some questions. What's the name that you want to use for the package? We can come up with any name and just say no tutorials. By default, it's giving us a version 1.0.0. We click yes. Or you can put anything you want. This Node project, developers college. So entry point by default is index.js. You can change this, but usually most people don't. We can leave this test command blank. Git repository, I'm sure you guys will have a basic understanding if you've attended previous classes, but for now we can ignore that. Although you can just put license, you don't need this. So it would show you a brief summary of everything and just press enter. When you do that, as you can see, it will create this package.json file, which is a summary of everything you just did. So we have just created a skeleton project. Can I, try to go slowly. Okay, sorry. I'll do that. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so can I have a feedback? Is anyone following? Are we having issues following so far? Has anyone been able to successfully follow this?
Just a question. While you're creating the npm init on terminal, how first of all do you find yourself into the Node.js?
So if you have installed Node, when you open your Visual Studio, click on open folder, right?
Okay.
And you can create your own workspace, like new class. It's better not to use spaces actually. New class, and then select the folder. So it opens this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to close this and redo everything I just did.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so have you done that? Can I have more people trying to attempt this so we can go together? Especially if you've installed Node. Okay, anyone?
Please, can you take it all over again?
Okay, so with the assumption that you've installed Node, our goal now is to create a basic Node project, right? So if you open your Visual Studio, if you have a different text editor, you can let me know, we'll work on it. But Visual Studio is advised, it's easy. So if you open your Visual Studio, you can go to New and Open Folder, right? When you go to Open Folder, select any location you want on your laptop, and you can right-click and create a new folder and call it anything you want to call it. You can say Developers Class, Developers College, so that all your projects can be in here. Developers, that's how spell college, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you select the folder, so it opens it up for you like this. Are we all here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the next thing I said is, if you remember from the slides, I said the Node is a command line tool. It's a command line language, basically. You can run it from the command line. So I said also, if you don't need to memorize everything, so I Googled here how to create a new Node project. And the first thing is to run this npm init, right? So from your Visual Studio, if you come to terminal, you click on new terminal. If you notice the path here, it opened it in the folder you just created, right? Yeah, can I have an affirmation from anyone? Has anyone done that? Terminal and then new terminal.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so now you run npm init and click on enter, right? And you can pretty much click on enter, enter, enter for all this. You can fill it if you want to. Don't change the entry point. But when you click on enter, 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 you have this, right? It will show you the summary of everything it just asked you and the answers you submitted for them respectively. So you click on this, is it okay? Yes. And when you click on is this okay, it creates this package.json file. I'm going to wait for a bit for everyone to be on the same page.
Thank you.
Are we all on the same page?
Not yet there, not yet there. My laptop is disturbing.
But
So just
as
give us
a,
like 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
yeah, as a summary, basically what a package.json file is like it holds metadata. Metadata is like information that is relevant to the project. Later on, as we are building, this file will be populated, will get more populated. So
Can write down, sir.
okay, so now that we have this, if you click on new and create a file. Now what we are going to do is this is our main point of entry. This is main, and this is the first thing. We want to create that file. So we are just going to create it and call it index.js. Right? So 1 second. Okay. So now that we have this index.js, we can come back to this slide. And if we copy this, oh, no, wait. If you can just do on the index.js file, if you just do console. Yeah. We save it. If we come here and we run node index.js, we have this. And then if we copy, I don't think you guys have the slides, but if I copy this and I paste it here and I do the same thing, it prints out hello it prints out what do you call it? Hello and then world after 3 seconds. Have we gotten to this place? Has everyone done this first one where I said if you do something like this, console.log, and you type anything here, and then you run node index.js, this would run, and this will show in your console, in your terminal. Have we done that?
Sorry, I have a question.
Yeah.
What does node index.js? What does it mean? What's that node doing there in front of it?
We are running this file. So it's like when you're doing your Java and you click on run and you click on application main. So this is our own main class, and we are running this, and we're saying it should run this for us.
Okay, so in other words, node is an internal command that
Yes,
we need
yes.
to put in order to be able to run the file the file name that we put in front of it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I think you can also, oh no, that doesn't work.
Oh, sorry, I missed something. Did you just create the index.js?
Yes, I did. I right-clicked here and I did a new file and I created it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to give you guys 1 minute or two to do that as well. So are we all on the same page?
My is not running.
What do you see? What does it give you? When you say it's not running, what did you run and what happened?
The node init. It's telling me module not found.
It's not node init, npm init. Hello?
Let me retry that.
We need to make sure that we have this basic part running so that we can easily follow along when we start like the main practicals. Has anyone been successfully run and have something on their console, in their terminal?
Hello, sir.
Have you been able to run this on your terminal and with this in your index.js? The goal is to get hello world on your terminal.
So, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. This is every time we are trying to print an output, we have to put in the node.index.js or just doing this for practical purposes.
This is just for practicals, but the idea is that we are running a project. So when we build a real application, this will be the entry point for the application. We might not have a console.log here. We can have services running here. And when this runs, it's not just going to stop like this. So the application will keep listening. But this is just the basic proof of concept to show that your npm installation works, and then you're able to run a node project. Do you understand?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Are we good? Like there are a couple of things you can do with Node. So I'm even thinking, like before we go into the main practicals, like just from this page, we'll show you how to get a bit more confident with Node. Like from here, you can actually read files, read and write to files on your server. And in a real world application, it can be that, how will I describe this now? You want to read probably an Excel sheet and process it. For example, someone says, I want you to create an application for me. I'll give you an Excel sheet and you send SMS to all these numbers, right? So you can actually use Node to read from those files and then get the information you want, get the numbers you want, and then write an application that would send SMS to those numbers. So maybe I think I'll do a simple reading from file here later on. So, but I just need to know that we have this working.
Sorry. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, I can hear you.
After the package name, is it not supposed to come up?
You get the prompt like, is this okay?
I'm not seeing any of that.
After the package name, this is the package name. Yeah, you can press enter, you can give it any name you want. By default, it uses the name of your folder.
Uh-huh.
So you press enter, it asks you for the version. Right?
Yeah, version 1.0.
Yes, press enter. You can actually change the version, but we don't need to do that. You can press enter, ask for the description. Just press enter. You can run enter all through.
Yeah, I've gotten to, is this okay?
Yes, then you press enter. After you do that, to create this file for you, this package.json.
Yeah, I have that.
So when you have this, all you need to do is right click here, do a new file.
I'm coming. Uh-huh.
Do a new file and name it index.js.
Yeah, I've done that.
So in your index.js file, you can type something like this.
Is that .log?
Yes.
Saying error.
What error are you getting? Can you paste it in the chat or something? When you say you're seeing error, did you run node space index.js?
I typed what I'm saying here. Console log hello world.
No, you type console log hello world in your index.js file, right?
Yes.
When you type that, you go to terminal here. So you go to your already open terminal where you're typing all those commands before.
Yeah.
Right? And then you type node index.js. Right?
Okay. Sorry, can we have somebody that has done it successfully? Is there anybody that has gotten to this stage at all, out of all of us? Let's see.
Yes.
Okay, we have one person.
You're able to see your hello world.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's good. Any other person? How many people? Are we all trying it? Is there anyone that is not able to try this?
Still isn't displaying.
When you run this,
Yes.
what do you get? What does it tell you?
3 times.
Sorry?
Am I supposed to do it 3 times?
No,
Okay,
no, just once.
Promise, can you share your screen? Maybe if you share your screen, we can see from there.
Let me
We can see what you are doing. Yeah. No,
How do I stop
let him
sharing?
just share it. You override. Let him
Okay.
just share.
Are you seeing this?
Rinzi, stop
No.
sharing your screen, please. Yeah.
I don't know how to stop sharing now. I can't.
Oh, okay, let me see if I can stop you.
Okay, pause share.
Is it pause or just stop? There should be a stop there.
There's no stop. You can't see my screen now anymore, can you?
We are still seeing your screen.
Okay, see stop. Okay, I've stopped.
Okay, now we are in promise screen. Oh, okay. See the part where you are. Let's see, Node.js. Okay. So Node. Okay.
Am I
In front. Can you type it now? Node space index.js. No. Go to the front of no, not there. Go to the leftmost part of your screen, like in front after the greater than sign, after the part C/user. So yes, that's where you type it in front there. Why is your screen displaying like this?
It's still going backward.
Put your cursor anywhere. Yes, and then yes. Backspace everything. Yeah. You can type clear. Type clear and enter. CLEAR, then enter. Yeah. Then now type node space.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, you can consider everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it can be easier for us to be together on the same page. Okay. So we go back to the slides. Sorry, 1 second. Okay.
Okay, we have less than 1 minute. This meeting is going to end, so don't forget to just click back the link so that you can get back into the meeting.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
This console.log, is it like a keyword or have tags and elements in HTML? So this console.log, is it like the first thing you do?
No, it's just, I only wanted to use it as an example to make sure that we have everything going perfectly. But it is a keyword per se. Like when you want to print out things to your terminal, for like, it's useful in like debugging or just knowing where the application is failing or something like that. So you can do a console.log, but ideally you might not be using it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Da Silva, I've not gotten any prompt to leave the meeting yet.
Yeah, just continue. It doesn't continue, just continue.
Okay, so now that we are done with that, I'll just do a brief explanation of event loops. So let's say all the participants on this call now, we do a request to our node server it's basically queues it up, and it works in like first in, first out. So most times the first request that hits the server will be the first person to get the response. And this thread pool is the C++ implementation I told you earlier about, because Node is actually a single threaded language. So this event loop, when we receive the request, it sends it to the thread pool. So each of these requests would run in a separate thread here, and then it would get our response eventually. You don't need to fully understand this yet. You just need to understand that for each request, a new thread pool is handling it. This is a brief description of the slide we just saw. Okay, I think we can skip this actually. We can skip this because the idea here is basically saying that when you receive a request, the request, while it's processing, will be waiting for a callback. A callback is like, I want to know when you're done and just let me know what next to do. But we will be doing that in practical much later, probably not today, or maybe next class. There was a time when I said Node is non-blocking. If you have done the other classes in Developer College, if we have something like this line,